So it was the Marin Wildside Enduro Race in Camp Fortune this past weekend. Here I am just waiting in line, waiting for my turn at stage 1. A little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive after witnessing the crash of one of my riders in my group yesterday, breaking his collarbone. So that's kind of in the back of my head. I just don't want to crash. I also want to apologize some of the audio clips in this video. The wind noise is really bad on the GoPro. I tried to correct it as best I can, but it's not perfect. So we jump into stage 1 here, this fast section at the beginning. Felt like things were going fairly okay. I was just trying to be extra smooth and not crash. And so far so good. I felt pretty good through this section. Maybe not as fast as yesterday in practice, but overall not too bad. In the back of my mind, I know I'm coming up on this rock roll section where the broken collarbone happened, so I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous about that spot coming up here. So that rock roll is coming up right now, and I know there's a step up after it, and that's where the incident happened. So I know I'm not going to hit the step up. I'm just going to do this rock roll, and there's lots of people here cheering on, expecting some big jump off the step up, and I do nothing. I don't think they were really expecting that, but I just wanted to get through this section unscathed. So I'm coming up through here, and I know they're closed the wood drop that was open during practice yesterday. So I'm not 100% sure where this redirect goes. So I get a little bit hung up here. I'm not sure where to go, but ended up making my way through here. I decided to skip the rock drop coming up here. Just thought I'd just go around it. Just my race nerves. Again, just trying not to crash. This is where the trail starts to get pretty gnarly, and I'm just trying to stay focused. As I come up here, I see that I'm coming up on a rider, and it's a pretty gnarly section, and I see he stopped riding and he's walking his bike. Totally caught me off guard. Wasn't sure what he was doing, had to get off the bike. Kind of go down the trail a bit, find a safe spot to get back on the bike. Just totally killed my momentum. I'm not sure what he was doing, and it totally caught me off guard. Kind of sucked that happened. Like I said, really took the momentum out of this run. I could hear the rider coming up behind me, and that's a pressure I don't love, so kind of put me out of it, but I just try to power on. I'm starting to get tired here. Yesterday in practice, we didn't do any obvious complete runs. So it's kind of hard to just do a complete run at race pace when you're not used to it, especially when you're focused on the gnarly terrain here at Camp Fortune. Definitely rode these sections better yesterday in practice, but again, just trying to get through them. Remember in practice just wanting to stay right through this section, but right about here I'm going to get passed by the rider behind me. Kind of a little bit unnerving that happening, but I guess it's to be expected with the incident I had earlier in the stage. So overall stage 1 went okay. Glad I got through it unscathed, and then had to make the climb back to the top for stage 2. That's rowdy.
It's rowdy when you don't know what's coming.
Oh my god, that was rowdy. But the goal was just to stay on the bike, and we did that. Yeah, I got a serious hand pump. I was holding on for dear life.
Nerves.
T'es prêt? Yep. 3, 2, 1, go!
So jumping into stage 2 here, which contains sections of Q Cup, Salamander, and No Name. Riding this completely blind, we didn't get a chance to get to this yesterday in practice due to the incident. and not suggesting anybody ever ride a stage of an enduro race blind, especially at a place like Camp Fortune. I knew the first two-thirds or so of this section were going to be okay. I'd ridden part of it before, and doing some scouting online, I thought I'd get through it okay. It was just the last part of this stage. I really had no idea what I was in for it. So like I said, I'm going through these sections all right, feeling okay about them. So I'm heading into this last section of the stage. Never ridden this trail before ever, and didn't really know what to expect. So going in completely blind. And I know it's a black rated trail, so I know it's probably going to be gnarly. I come up on this section and completely freeze. It looks super gnarly. I'm not sure where to go. Can't pick a line fast enough, so off the bike, and I'm just kind of walking through this section as fast as I can. Hearing the rider coming up behind me already, freaking out about that, just trying to get back on the bike and get back going. Definitely not feeling great here.
That sucked. Hated riding that blind.
Get back on the bike, super nervous, again not knowing what to expect, going in super blind, and again panic.
I don't like this trail.
I really wish I would have practiced this stage yesterday, or at least taken a look at what to expect. A couple spots on this trail, just wasn't sure what the line was, and couldn't make a decision fast enough during the race pace. So I'm super frustrated at this point, and just want to get this stage done.
All right.
Racing definitely adds a different element to just riding. When you have the pressure of a rider behind you, you don't want to stop and look at anything. You're just trying to go as fast as possible, as smooth as possible, not making any mistakes. It's a lot of pressure that I think definitely makes you ride harder. But it's definitely something, if you haven't experienced it before or not used to it, it's something to you have to get used to. Riding a trail like this blind is completely scary. I totally do not recommend it. Just glad to be done this stage.
That's it? Is that done? That stage sucked. Didn't get to practice that yesterday. That really was evident. I didn't like riding that blind.
It was scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Very. I really didn't like riding that, not knowing what was coming up, especially that last section.
Sketchy.
Yeah. Type 2 fun.
Terrified going down. I'm like, no, come on, it's coming. Let's get to that one crazy section. Like,
I know, that's why I think I walked. I wish I would have just went, but I didn't know where to go.
I just tiptoed right to the end and then just no brakes. I'm like, oh my god. I think my eyes might have been closed.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do this climb. Yeah.
So jumping into stage 3 here, which contain the trails Switchback and G-Up. These are both blue rated, more XC style trails. I know there's a rock roll coming up here that we did practice, fortunately, yesterday, so I kind of knew what to expect on that, which I'm glad we did do that. But I'm really starting to feel tired at this point. in Ontario, we're not used to this kind of climbing and this kind of terrain, and it's definitely, you need to be focused 100% on this type of stuff. Here's the rock roll coming up here around the corner, and I just remember from yesterday, just come up on it and you just release the brakes and ride down it. So that went all right. Glad to just get through that, no problem. But then just tons of bad line choices, overall exhaustion, and this stage feels super long, and I just wanted to get through it without making any super silly mistakes. So like I said, this was a long stage. Just felt like it went on, and I was just hoping, I just couldn't wait to get to the end. Again, I can hear the rider coming up behind me and just waiting for him to pass me, something I was sort of getting used to, but obviously didn't love. When you're not used to riding this kind of terrain all the time, we definitely aren't as fast as a lot of the local riders that ride these trails all the time. I can sense the stage is almost over, and I'm just so relieved. Just waiting for that beep to know that I'm finished it.
That's hard. I'm so tired. Oh, well. 3 down. I was exhausted about halfway through that run, and I was like, just gotta finish it. Yeah. All right, we got to climb again.
1, go, let's go.
So starting stage 4 here, which was chicken run over to junior, and again, super exhausted by this point. I just want to get this race over with. This is a black rated trail here, so I know can't take it lightly. This was the first stage that we practiced yesterday, so I'm just trying to remember the lines and just basically holding on and praying. I know there's some gnarly chutes I have to ride through, and just want to stay focused and stay on the bike.
Hell kicked out of it. Oh, hell kicked out of it.
This is the first gnarly section here, just riding down through here, just trying to stay focused, holding on tight, and just praying a little. So there's a real punchy climb coming up here, and I have absolutely nothing left in the tank. I'm exhausted. As I'm pedaling up this hill, the crowd cheering me on, I somehow managed to dig deep and managed to somehow climb up this hill. But this was everything I had left in me. This pretty much took everything out of me, and I basically just coasted the rest of the stage. Like I said, I was totally exhausted. So it was a great sense of accomplishment finishing this race. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It's hard to climb up a mountain and still have enough focus and energy to ride down it and repeat this for all 4 stages. Like I said, by the end, I'm just holding on and praying. I'm not used to this kind of elevation and terrain. The Marin Wildside Enduro at Camp Fortune was gnarly, it was tiring, it was terrifying, but ultimately it was rewarding, and that is why I will do it again next year. And I'm proud to have accomplished it. I finished the race unscathed. That was one of the goals, finish the race and not finish last, and thankfully I didn't finish last, barely. Looking back, if there was a couple things went maybe slightly differently, I think I would have placed a little bit higher, but the race nerves, race pressure is something I'm still not used to entirely, and it definitely paid, plus the lack of practice on stage 2. Things I've learned from this year is fitness, number 1. Even when you think you're in good shape, you probably aren't in race shape. The level of fitness not only needed to do multiple race runs, also multiple climbs up a mountain cannot be underemphasized. It's tough.
That's the hardest thing I've done in my life, I think. Oh.
And do not take practice lightly. The last third of my stage 2 was terrible, and it was all because I had no idea how to ride that trail, let alone at race speed. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, sorry about the wind noise in the video. I did my best to fix that, but I know it's not perfect. Definitely have to pay more attention to that when I'm recording, but I think at the pressure of the race, I really wasn't paying that much attention to the GoPro. So if you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, please do. And until next time, keep your feet on the pedals.